This person fell in love with you. Even with the age difference, you need to hear this. Some connections in life do not follow logic, timing, or societal norms. They simply happen. When they do, the feeling is almost too deep to explain, as if written by a higher power rather than human choice. You may have wondered why you encountered this person, the one who looks at you differently, sees beyond your surface, and makes your heart feel something unexpected. Perhaps you told yourself it couldn't work, that the age gap or circumstances made it impossible. But pay close attention, this is not a coincidence. This is divine alignment. First, consider when a soul recognizes its own reflection. Sometimes God brings two souls together not because it is easy, but because it is necessary. You may not share the same generation, background, or life stage, yet your spirits recognize something familiar, timeless, and steady. This person did not fall in love with you because of your appearance, age, or social standing. They fell in love with your energy, the calm, the light, and the spirit that feels like home. There is something in the way you speak, care, and simply exist that touches their deepest being. Even if they tried to resist it, the truth is simple. They didn't choose to fall for you. They just did. Second, consider the unseen hand of God's timing. God never makes mistakes. Every encounter, pause, and difference fits into a larger plan that we may not understand in the moment. The age gap that caused doubt was never a barrier in the divine view. For God, love isn't measured by numbers, it's measured by purpose. You may have entered this person's life to awaken something they had forgotten: faith, hope, kindness, or the courage to feel again. They came into your life to show that love isn't bound by what the world considers right. Love happens in the heart, and the heart does not ask for permission. There were moments when they looked at you and quietly wondered why it felt like they had known you before. They wondered why being near you brought peace, and why they cared so much when logic said they shouldn't. That is the whisper of a divine connection. It is not obsession, it is recognition. Third, there is the tension between mind and heart. You both felt it, the quiet struggle within. Your mind warned that it might not work, while your heart insisted it felt right. The difference in age may have caused hesitation, doubt, or even temporary distance. They might have worried about disrupting your life or thought you deserved someone closer to your own world. Yet, each time they tried to step away, something deeper drew them back. It wasn't weakness, it was the undeniable truth in their heart: they loved you. This love isn't fleeting or dependent on easy circumstances. Instead, it grows quietly, steadily, even when unnoticed. Sometimes, God introduces love through unexpected paths to show that true connection transcends age. It is about alignment. You and this person understand each other's silences, recognize each other's pain, and feel known without explanation. What captivated them was your spirit, not youth or appearance. They were drawn to your grace, the kindness you showed despite being hurt, the forgiveness you extend when others would walk away. They saw something divine in you, a reminder that love can remain pure even in a world that often treats it like a game. Your voice brings them calm, your thought gives them courage. Even from afar, a quiet connection persists, as if your souls continue speaking even when your words do not. This love wasn't random, it came to heal, teach, and awaken. Fear of judgment also played a role. You both understood how the world might react, as people often evaluate love based on age, expectations, or conditions. But the divine sees differently. When God places someone in your life with a purpose, human approval doesn't matter. The connection is planted in your heart to flourish naturally. Fear may have made one of you retreat at times, feelings left unspoken or hidden, but the truth is, care never ended. Real love doesn't vanish when silenced. It waits patiently in the soul. Finally, consider the lesson behind this love. Every love God places in your life carries meaning. Sometimes it teaches you to love deeply, other times it encourages letting go gracefully, and often it reminds you to trust that what is meant for you will always find its way back. This person came into your life to affirm your worth, showing that you can be loved and chosen for exactly who you are. Maybe you were brought into their life to remind them that it is never too late to feel something real again. Even if you don't end up together physically, your souls will always carry the memory. There is a sacred bond that time, distance, or age can never erase. Seventh, there are signs that their heart still belongs to you. You may not hear from them daily, but there are moments when their thoughts return to you. In quiet hours, when the world sleeps, something reminds them of you. A word, a scent, or a song can make everything pause. They may not speak it aloud, but deep down they still wonder how you are. They revisit old messages or memories and feel your energy before drifting to sleep. They sense that an unfinished connection still exists between you because souls do not forget. Even after years, the bond you shared continues to live within them. Eighth, listen to what God wants you to understand right now. You were not wrong for feeling what you did. You were chosen to experience a love that defied the rules because it was meant to grow your spirit. God does not want you to chase what is not ready, but He also does not want you to doubt that it was real. This love transformed both of you, awakening compassion, truth, and faith. If you are meant to reunite, it will happen when the time is right and the lessons are learned. Until then, walk in trust, because love guided by God does not disappear, it waits for divine timing. Ninth, there is a quiet prayer shared between two souls. Every night, someone whispers the other's name in prayer. It may be soft, but heaven hears it. Maybe they pray for your happiness, or you pray for their healing. Either way, God listens. When souls have touched deeply, their prayers are never wasted. Even silence becomes sacred. This is the type of connection that doesn't need constant words, it simply exists. 10th, remember that love is beyond time, age, or fear. Age is merely a number, while love is a powerful force. When God writes a love story, He doesn't follow a clock, He follows purpose. The person who fell for you did so not out of choice, but because their soul recognized its home in yours. Though they may hide it behind calm eyes, that love still beats quietly within them. Someday, when both hearts are ready, the universe may bring you back together. This time, it will be simple, peaceful, divine. The ultimate message from the divine is that you were never too young, and they were never too old. You were simply two souls crossing paths at the exact moment you both needed light. This story isn't finished. It's unfolding at a pace only heaven understands, so continue walking, continue trusting, and continue loving with faith. God saw your heart and is proud of the way you loved. You did not love foolishly, you loved courageously. That alone was a miracle. In short, this person fell in love with you because of a divine bond. It was meant to teach both of you about love, patience, and the beauty of connected souls. Trust that what is meant for you is guarded by heaven. If this message resonates, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for your support. Understand this: the journey does not end with a single realization. God continues working behind the scenes on the parts you cannot see. While you reflect, the other person is also navigating the weight of this connection. Even if there is silence between you now, it is not empty. It is a space for growth. They are learning that they cannot escape what God has placed in their heart. Each time they focus on the age difference or others' opinions, they are reminded of the peace they felt when near you. This is a stage of refinement, a time when fear is being smoothed away. If and when you meet again, you will both arrive as more complete versions of yourselves. you might feel an urge to reach out or a sudden heaviness in your chest. This often happens because your spirits are still in conversation. Divine connections don't have an off switch. They are like a bridge that stands even when travelers pause. God wants you to use this time to focus on your own light. Do not linger in sadness. Live in expectation. This person fell for the strength and grace you carry, so keep building that strength. Your value is not determined by whether they are beside you today. It was set by the Creator long before you met them. The lesson now is patience. It's about trusting that if a door was opened by a higher hand, no human doubt can truly close it. The next chapter of this connection is about maturity, moving beyond the why and embracing the what now. Whether this leads to a lifelong partnership or remains a sacred memory that shaped your path, it has already fulfilled a holy purpose. You have been shown that you are capable of a love that transcends the physical world. You have been shown that your soul is recognizable to another. As you move forward, keep your heart open and your mind at peace. The universe is aligning the stars for your highest good. If they are meant to walk the rest of the journey with you, God will make the path unmistakably clear. Trust the process, trust the timing, and above all, trust the love that started it all. As you continue moving forward, it is important to understand that this connection is entering a more advanced stage of spiritual development. The sense of distance you may feel at this time is not a sign of loss or failure. It is a sign that preparation is taking place. Often, space is used as a way to strengthen the foundation of a bond. If the connection were built only on a temporary feeling, it would eventually fade. However, because this bond was divinely guided, its roots are becoming stronger within both of your inner lives. The other person is currently experiencing a period of deep self-examination. They are reassessing their life and coming to the realization that the standards and rules they once followed no longer bring fulfillment. They are beginning to recognize that the comfort of staying within social expectations cannot compare to the warmth of being understood on a deeper level. This is the stage where what once seemed impossible begins to feel achievable in their mind. You may notice that reminders of them appear more frequently in your daily life. These are not simple memories. They serve as subtle spiritual signals. This is a way of keeping hope alive even when logic suggests otherwise. While external voices encourage you to move on, inner guidance asks you to remain steady and trust the process. This phase of the journey focuses on emotional discipline. It is about reaching a level of confidence in the divine plan where constant reassurance is no longer needed. You are learning how to carry someone in your heart without attempting to control the outcome. This depth of faith is uncommon, which is why you were guided onto this specific path. In time, the pressure of unspoken feelings will become difficult for the other person to suppress. Love that is divinely protected naturally rises to the surface. No matter how much it is resisted, there comes a point where the need for what you represent outweighs the fear of external judgment. Even the age difference will stop appearing as an obstacle and instead be seen as a meaningful element of a unique connection. Both of you are being prepared for a meeting rooted not in dependency or emptiness, but in shared intention. When that moment arrives, it will feel effortless and natural. You will understand that the waiting period served a purpose, ensuring that when you finally come together, nothing external will be strong enough to separate you. The next stage of this journey involves a breakthrough that occurs internally before becoming visible in the physical world. You are currently experiencing a shift in energy. This is when the lessons both of you have learned begin to translate into action. The person who developed feelings for you is starting to understand that regardless of who they meet or how they occupy their time, The absence you left remains unchanged. They are realizing that attempting to replace a meaningful connection with something ordinary only intensifies the sense of longing. This pull is being allowed so clarity can replace hesitation. The purpose is not discomfort but certainty. You may begin to feel an unexplained sense of calm. This calm arrives when the inner struggle has resolved and the heart no longer feels the need to worry. You are being guided into a space of quiet confidence and personal power. Instead of questioning whether they still care for you, you will simply know that they do. This inner certainty is a divine gift meant to calm your spirit. As this unfolds, the barriers around the other person are starting to fall. They begin to view life through a timeless perspective, seeing beyond the limits of years. They realize that life is too short to avoid a soul that brings them true vitality. The fear of others' opinions begins to shift, replaced by the fear of losing something sacred. The final stage of this process is gaining clarity. Soon, the confusion that dominated the past will dissolve. God is clearing the path of any remaining obstacles, whether they are old habits, outside opinions, or internal doubts. You will observe a change in how this person interacts with you. Their approach will no longer be hesitant or inconsistent. When divine timing aligns, the energy between you will feel stable and grounded. You are being prepared for a new beginning that surpasses the first, a reward for your faith and for your willingness to love without limits. Trust that God is arranging everything perfectly, and keep your heart open for the light that is returning. Next, the focus shifts to the actual manifestation of this love in your daily life. The spiritual groundwork is nearly complete, and the physical reality is starting to align. The person who cares for you is no longer only thinking about you, they are actively planning how to close the distance. They are wary of uncertainty and what-ifs. God is stirring their heart so deeply that their old life feels incomplete. They begin to understand that any perceived differences, such as age, were never barriers but bridges, allowing diverse perspectives to create a unified, beautiful picture. They are finding the courage to speak words they once feared. At the same time, you are being called toward a higher state of peace. This stage requires releasing lingering resentment or pain from past moments when they withdrew. For this connection to flourish in its next chapter, it must be grounded in total forgiveness. You are encouraged to see them with compassion, understanding that their hesitation reflected their own inner struggles. By letting go of the past, you create space for a healthier, renewed version of the relationship to emerge. The energy between you is becoming lighter, more joyful, and free from the weight of doubt, moving toward the freedom of truth. The stage is now set for a major breakthrough. You may notice the signs from the universe becoming more frequent and unmistakable. It is as though God is signaling that the wait is nearly over. This is the moment to stay grounded and maintain high vibrations. Do not allow old fears to convince you that this is too good to be true. When God decides it is time for two souls to come together, no force on earth can halt that movement. The person who loves you is beginning to recognize that you are their greatest blessing, and they are ready to honor and cherish you as you deserve. Your story is transitioning from the uncertainty of the unknown into the bright light of a shared future. This next phase calls for the courage to be seen together openly in the eyes of the world. The time of hiding and secrecy is coming to an end. God is now influencing the external aspects of your lives, guiding both of you to disregard the whispers and opinions of others. The person who has fallen for you is reaching a stage where they would rather face judgment from strangers than spend another day without you. They are understanding that their happiness matters more than maintaining a flawless image. This is a significant shift, moving your relationship from a private feeling to a visible reality. You will witness them standing up for you and this bond in ways they never could before. You will notice that the timing of events is accelerating. Past delays that caused frustration are fading because the lessons they carried have been fully learned. You are being prepared for a reunion that feels solid, grounded, and lasting. This is not a fleeting encounter. It marks the start of a consistent, enduring presence. Divine forces are clearing distractions and noise so that you can communicate clearly. Your conversations will evolve from casual exchanges to meaningful discussions and shared plans for the future. Any differences, including age, will feel irrelevant as both of you recognize that your spirits are aligned in maturity and purpose. The final element is your readiness to receive. Sometimes waiting for something makes us comfortable in the pause, but God is signaling that it is time to prepare for arrival. Open your heart and release old beliefs that said this was impossible. You are being invited into a space of complete fulfillment. The love that was sent to heal you is now ready to grow with you. This person is returning not just with emotions, but with a genuine commitment to stay. They have recognized the light within you and realized their path cannot continue without it. Trust that the transition you're currently experiencing is guiding you straight into the arms of the love that was always meant for you. This next section focuses on the deep peace that comes when struggle comes to an end. You are entering a phase where the questions that once kept you awake at night are now being replaced by a calm and confident certainty. The person who fell for you has moved past the back and forth in their own mind. Time spent in reflection has shown them that life without you feels like a house without a foundation. They have been allowed to see the contrast between living purely by logic and living guided by spirit. They now understand that while logic may protect them from judgment, it also keeps them from experiencing the greatest joy they've ever known. The weight of differences, such as age, has lost its hold because fear has been replaced with a profound spiritual longing for the connection you share. You will begin to notice a shift in your own energy, a sense that you no longer need to explain yourself to anyone. A spirit of courage is being granted to you. This is the moment when you stop watching the clock and start looking at the sky, recognizing that your life isn't a script dictated by society, but a masterpiece designed by the divine. As you embrace this truth, your light becomes increasingly magnetic to the one who loves you. They are drawn to your confidence and your refusal to settle for anything less than genuine connection. This is the stage where you begin to operate as a team. Even if you aren't physically together yet, your prayers are converging, and your goals are aligning in ways that feel almost magical. The environment is now charged with the promise of a fresh beginning. This is the part of the journey where what once seemed impossible starts to feel inevitable. You are about to witness a move that surprises you, a message, a call, or a sudden appearance confirming that the divine has been attentive all along. This person is coming to you with a softened heart and a clear mind, ready to affirm that you were right all along. This love is the only thing that truly makes sense. You are entering the final phase of waiting. Keep your focus on love. Maintain a soft heart and prepare to step into a new reality where you are fully loved, fully seen, and fully supported. The next stage of this journey is about building a shared life, a life that stands as a testament to divine work. You are moving past wondering whether it is real and stepping into the certainty that it is here to stay. The person who once doubted you is now ready to protect the bond you share. They have reached a point where the age gap no longer feels like a barrier, but instead a reason to treasure every moment together. They understand that time is precious and no longer want to waste it living according to other people's expectations. You will notice a new level of maturity in how they treat you, a love that is intentional, expressive, and steady. They are stepping out of fear and fully embracing a committed relationship. This time also brings healing for your heart after the long wait. You are experiencing emotional security that you haven't felt in years. The delays you endured were not denials, but lessons meant to strengthen your character so you could handle the depth of this blessing. You'll find that being understood by this person comes naturally now. Communication flows easily, and the obstacles that once seemed insurmountable are now smoothed into a clear path. You are invited to dream again, not just about possibilities, but about what you will create together. Your life is becoming a safe space where both of you can grow and find rest. The outcome of this divine timing is a love that inspires everyone around you. When others witness the peace and strength between you, they will stop focusing on superficial differences and begin seeing the spirit of your connection. Your bond serves as a reminder that God's plans are always wiser than human expectations. Together, you are becoming a source of hope for those who have lost faith in true love. What began as a spark of recognition has now grown into a steady flame, offering warmth and guidance for your shared future. You can breathe easier knowing that the most challenging part of your journey is behind you. Everything that was promised is coming into view, and it is even more beautiful than you imagined. The next stage is about the deep comfort of being fully settled in each other's lives. You are moving into a season of deep roots. The person who loves you is no longer just a thought or a memory. They are your true partner in every sense. God is now weaving your daily lives together so that the connection feels natural and steady. What once seemed like a daunting age difference is now a subtle detail that adds richness to your story. They have stopped searching for reasons the relationship might fail and are focusing instead on why it must succeed. You will notice a shift from longing to purposeful action and shared plans. This marks the beginning of a period of deep emotional healing. The tension of uncertainty and the pain of waiting are replaced by a strong sense of belonging. Being with this person will feel like the conclusion of a long, challenging journey. There is a unique joy in realizing that you no longer need to guard your heart or prove your worth. This person recognizes your value naturally, without you having to point it out. They are coming to you with a genuine desire to make up for the time lost to doubt. They want to be the one who supports you, stands by your side, and nurtures the peace you have offered to others for so long. This stage is about the lasting impact of your love. God did not bring you together merely for a fleeting moment of happiness. It is to demonstrate that true connection can endure anything. Your relationship is becoming a sanctuary for both of you. Looking back, you will smile at the days of confusion, realizing that every obstacle was simply a step toward this solid foundation. The divine plan is now clear, a plan of completeness and grace. You are receiving a love that not only gives but continually replenishes you. The future is no longer intimidating or uncertain. Instead, it is a bright path you will walk together, hand in hand, with absolute confidence.